This is my first time experimenting with modifying a silicone sex doll into an obstetric simulator. I don't know how it's going to work. From watching other people's tutorials, the silicone is really, really difficult to cut and it ends up looking really messy. They usually cut about a 4-inch or 10-centimeter hole in the abdomen part here. So my thought was try a 4-inch or 10-centimeter hole saw. The holes that are cut with a knife or a scalpel tend to be really messy, and I figure it can't get any worse than it already is, so I'm going to give it a go to see if I can drill a hole and scoop it out rather than trying to cut with a knife. You see how jiggly this silicone is? It's very jiggly and very stretchy. It's very different than the Sophie and her mom model, which is a lot more rigid material. So, okay, my drill does not like that. Let's try that again. Okay, I can already tell that I might have to put my pilot bit back in. Right now I took out the pilot bit, but it's just moving all over the place. Yeah, even with the pilot bit, it's just ripping up the flesh. Unfortunately, I think that this is not going to work, but I wanted to give it a try. I might just go back to using a knife like some of the other people have done. On the other hand, it's kind of starting to work in some places. So I'm going to see if I can just keep it going. It is cutting kind of a line through it. It's just quite messy at first, and if you put much pressure on the drill, it skips. I'm a little worried that it's starting to tear too close to the back of the spine. All right, I'm back with a really sharp paring knife. You can see that my hole saw did start to drill the hole, and in some parts it's better than others, but just really messy. The hard part with this consistency is that it's just so stretchy that it doesn't want to cut. It just pokes down really far. This is a very sharp knife. I just ran it through the knife sharpener. It's just still incredibly hard to cut. I'm almost pulling the tissue open and then cutting. If we could get these models custom poured with a hollow already inside the abdomen, it would make the process so much easier. So you can see as I pull it open and then cut, it's starting to make a little bit cleaner cut. It's not going to look great still, but it's a lot less messy than this initial attempt with the hole saw. So now I can grab a handful and kind of pull it up and out of the way as I slice through more. When I'm pulling and slicing deeper, it's hard to know if I'm going straight down or more at an angle. Because I'm pulling, I don't know if it's going to go out or in or down. This is a little bit of a mystery to me, having never worked with any material quite like this before. I'm trying to make it at least feel that it's going down, if not slightly in, like a cone. I don't want to flare it out even bigger. So now I'm probably a good 5, almost 6 centimeters deep here. Just working my way around. It doesn't feel like you're cutting much, but then it does end up deepening it each time you open and slice it. This would actually be a nice job for 2 people. One could be just holding the material apart as the other person continues to slice. I'm trying to cut a little more inwards now, more like a cone at the tip of a cone. I don't want to go too much like a cylinder as I get lower. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to start connecting with the vaginal canal or the rectal canal, which this model has. It's definitely getting more challenging as I'm getting deeper. This would be really nice to have another set of hands right about now. I would ask my children, but I think I would scandalize them. Plus, they're not home at the moment. So now I am a good, what, almost 10 centimeters deep, 3-4 inches. I'm past my fingers. I'm trying to cut more inwards because I'm guessing I'm going to actually contact the interior hollows of this model pretty soon if I keep cutting. I don't want to go too deep. I'm going to start trying to cut across, as it were, to see if I can bisect the amount I'm cutting and see if I'm hitting anything yet. So I'm cutting inwards to try to basically take this piece of material out and see if I'm anywhere close enough. Oh, and I am just starting to see that I made contact with the vaginal canal here and the rectal canal here. So I'm going to cut from the other side. Okay. So as you can see, this is the plug that I cut out, about how big it is. 10 centimeters around, 4 inches around, and about almost 4 inches deep. I just started making contact with the two anatomical canals, as you can see where they had just started here. Let me give you a little better view inside of what it's looking like right now. Oh, that's very jiggly. So if you can see in here, you'll see that we have the beginning of the vaginal canal here and the rectal canal here. So I've made contact. Now the question is, do I need to hollow any more out? Here I'm showing my torso and a colleague's torso side by side to see the different ways you can cut into the model. Her cut was a little bit smaller than mine, and she went down and then started angling it and curving it a little bit towards the front. That's not a bad idea, actually. I'm going to probably open mine up a little bit more, go down a little bit deeper, and also angle a little bit more towards the front. If I ever had to do this again, I would probably do the same thing, knowing that I can always cut more the next time.